Hello guys, in this video I'll be showing you how you can build a fish farm in your backyard. Do you have a backyard that you have nothing sitting on it? Do you want to make extra cash while you still keep your full-time job? Oh well, if this is you, then this is the right video for you. We all know that the economy of Nigeria right now is going through so much stress and pressure from the COVID-19. Things are tough and everyone is looking for ways to make a little bit of extra cash. So one way you can do that is by building a fish farm at your backyard, and start a catfish farm. Enjoy the videos and tell me what you think about it. Thank you. So what you see in this video is a fish farm. So basically, this area of my house, it's supposed to be the boys' quarter. I'm supposed to build the boys' quarter here in this space, as you can see, right? But I've decided to turn it to a little fish farm. So we have 4 tanks here, and the setup is pretty basic, and I think it's something if you also want to earn a little on the side, especially in these oh, chicken, let me complete my video. Anyway, so if you're looking to earn a little extra money on the side, especially in this economy that we are in Nigeria today, you can start a fish farm at your backyard. This is pretty much my backyard, and I set up 4 tanks. I bought these tanks. I think each was for 45,000 naira, and that's sometime in 2020, early 2020, probably in March. I don't know how much they sell them now. And these tanks, as you can see, these are 3,000 liters. They are huge, 3,000 liters. But something that I have to say is this: when buying the tanks, you have to be very careful, because these guys who sell the tanks, they never will tell you the truth. They would always say, oh, this is 3,000 liters, but actually in the real sense it's only 2,000. So these are actual 3,000 liter tanks, very big, and they can contain enough fishes that you can actually grow and then sell them. So when buying tanks, make sure you're buying the right size. Don't be cheated by these tank sellers. So these are 3,000 liters, and here is another one, and this is another one, and this is the 4th one, right? So right now they are pretty much empty. I don't have fishes in them because I have a little water issue at the house, so I decided to take a break right now. The water supply has not been very consistent, and I don't have a borehole in the house, because we have a central water system in this estate. So I thought I could use that, but realized that it's actually not sustainable. So what we basically did here was our 3 tanks set up. Let me get all the views for you. So these 3 tanks set up. As you can see, my piping is surface piping. I did not take this into consideration when building the fish tank. I first did the floor, concreted the floor. So if I had knew when I was trying to do the floor, I would have tried to hide the pipes underground so nobody sees the pipes. So these pipes, as you can see, they come this way, like right there where you see the supply comes from here and down to the tank. That's the tank over there. So I use these 2 tanks to, what I do with these 2 tanks is that I store water in these tanks. Anytime, sorry, chickens are too noisy. Anyway, so I store water in these 2 tanks. Each of these tanks are 2,000 liters, but they are not really enough. But at least if you run out of water, they can always help you to keep your fish alive until you get some water. So I store water here, and the water comes from this. It comes from these tanks, also from the main supply, which is like outside the gate somewhere there. It comes from all the way there, and then it runs here, and then it brings the water here, right? So as you can see, each tank has a pump. sorry, has a tap. Yeah. So what I do is when I need to fill the tanks, I would just open. You see, water runs into it, and then when it's full, I close. And this also, this other tank, you can see the tap. All four tanks has their individual taps. So when I need to fill them up, I open all the taps and water fill in the tanks, and then I close them. Right? So it takes an average of say 45 minutes to an hour to fill a single tank, depending on the pressure of the water. An average of 45 minutes to an hour. So once I open them, I go back in the house and I just sit back and watch TV or something, and 45 minutes later I come out. But in case I forgot and the tanks overflows, I have these little outlets here. You can see these outlets. Usually there was a net that was covering this outlet, so that if you have little fishes, they can go out of it. So there was a net there, but I think it's rusted now and then fell off or something. So these outlets lets water out. Once the tank is full and you probably not there to close the tap, the water begins to run out from this place. It means it can never get to this point. Sorry, the water begins to run out from these outlets, so it means that the water can never get to this level, so it can overflow. But when I was constructing this fish farm, I did not take into consideration the pressure of the water. So if the pressure of the water coming from this tap is way more than the outflow from here, right, it means the tank is still going to overflow, because the water going out is less than the one coming in. The pressure here is faster, so the tank will overflow. So what I should have done was to put in a bigger outlet, or put in multiple outlets. I should have put in a bigger outlet, or I put multiple of these outlets on the tank. That was the day I just bought the fingerlings. The fingerlings are the little fishes, the tiny ones, and then I put them in the tank, and then I turned on the water, and then I went inside to relax, and then I forgot to turn off the water, thinking if it overflows, the outlets will let the water out. Unfortunately, by the time I come out, the tank overflowed, and all the fishes were out, like on the floor. It was so bad that actually I lost a couple of fishes. Some of them died, because I think I took a while before I came. I actually left it open until the next day, But anyway, I lost a couple of fishes, and I learned my lesson. So those outlets there, they help water to get out. So if you're constructing yours, you either put in a big one, or you put multiple of those outlets to let water out, right? So inside the tank, let's look inside the tank right now. Inside the tank, you can see another outlet. So this particular outlet is for draining water. I use this to drain water. Let me show you a proper setup. I think I have a proper setup in one of these tanks. Probably this one. Okay, yeah, here. So you see, this is how they look. This is how this outlet looks. So what we did was we put in that hole there, this particular hole, and then we have another pipe, passed into it. And then on this particular pipe, we created what holes. So these holes are meant for draining waters. They drain water all around it. You have those holes. You see, they are not too big. If you make them too big, whenever you have your fingerlings, those little fishes, they can probably just swim away from that holes. So you make sure that the holes are not so big, so that you don't lose your fishes. So the water drains through here, comes out here, and then it goes there, and then I dug a drainage somewhere out there, and the water flows out into the estate central sewage system. So these outlets here is for draining water. When your water is dirty, you must let them out, and you let them out through this particular drainage. All right. You see my pipes laid on the floor. Like I said, you can do yours, underground. And another thing I want to show you guys is these taps. You can see the tap here. These particular taps. So you can, once you turn them this way, they let the water out. You drain the water. Once you're done, you turn them back this way, the water starts draining. All right. So these taps are for what? Letting water out. You lock and you open. All right. So it's pretty much easy. You can do this yourself. All you need to do is get a plumber, someone who knows plumbing, and then you get your tank set up. In my case, I have 4 tanks, right? In my case, I have 4 tanks. Why did I get 4 tanks? I got 4 tanks because I wanted to okay, here's what I do. I buy the fingerlings. So probably I buy, say, 2,000. I put all of them in one tank because they're still small. They can fit in one tank. So as they grow, as they begin to grow, I begin to transfer them into different tanks. So let's say, for example, in this tank 1, I have like the very big one, the biggest of all, because you don't keep them with the this chicken is so naughty. You don't keep the big fish with the small fish because they are going to eat up the small ones. So I put the big ones in one tank. Then the medium-sized fish, I might put them in tank 2, right? And then the ones that are a bit big but not up to the medium one, I put them in tank 3. And then in tank 4, I put those little tiny ones that refuse to grow. You put them there. So it's called sorting. That whole process is called sorting. So you sort the fish out by sizes, and that's why I have these 4 tanks to do that. I mean, you can do 2 tanks, you don't have to do 4. So you put them in one tank at the beginning, and when they are growing, you sort into the second tank, right? So this is pretty much basic, right? So like I said, you can get a plumber who is experienced in plumbing, and just tell them to set up your fish farm, just like what you've seen in the video. Pretty much I directed the guy who did. I had no experience of plumbing, but I mean, I watched a couple of videos on YouTube and I saw what people are doing, and then I was able to set up this. And then another thing is, you can see this construction. I'll show you this construction from the top, right? I'm going to show you eventually. Right now I can't really do that. I have to go upstairs to show you that. All right, so you can see it's a whole construction. So I built this to actually provide shade for the fish, for the fishes. So it's sort of like prevent direct sunlight to heat up the water, and then it sort of also allows some degree of sunlight to actually get to the fishes, because fishes are in the rivers and oceans, they still get direct sunlight, but when it's too much, they can just go beneath and keep themselves away from that hot temperature. So it's sort of, I try to mimic the same thing here. So the roof, you can see they are not completely closed. Let me show you. Right, you can see this is the roof. They are not completely closed, so sun can still get in somehow, but not completely. So the fishes are prevented, or no, protected from direct sunlight, but they can still enjoy some degree of sunlight as well. So this is quite cheap. What I did was there was some people actually, these loggers, they were falling trees and cutting them, and these were like the backs, those are the back that they scrape off from the wood before it becomes they turn it to whatever they want to do. So I just went over there and I asked them, can I get these woods? I'll pay you something. And they're like, yeah, we don't need it, and so I gave them what, 2,000 naira or something, or 3,000, and then I have a roof. So I got a carpenter, and then he put up the stands and then hit them, and it provides a beautiful shade for my fishes. And then I didn't have to I didn't have to break the bank, right? So you can also do something similar, or if you have your own idea, this was my idea. If you have something, if you have some other ideas also, you can implement them, right? So this is my basic setup for my fish farm right at my backyard, you know. So while every morning I wake up, I go to the fishes, I feed them. If I need to change the water, I change. And fish is, I mean, training fish is not it's not really a difficult thing. So you just need to know the basic things, and then you're fine, and then it's also, I mean, it doesn't take all of your time. You can be working a full-time job and still doing this, earning some money, so this, it's a basic construction of a fish tank right at my backyard. All right, so if you guys have any comment or questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. Any questions, I'll answer them. And also I'll get to show you videos when I actually had fishes in the tank. And I hope you enjoyed the videos, and thanks for watching.